Hey there, goofballs. This is Rich Williams with Secrets of Stand-Up. I'm going to tell you everything I know about stand-up comedy to help you become a better comic. I want to get this one out because there was recently, the night before Thanksgiving, there was a roast of the comedy club manager in my area. And I heard it went really well. It was all locals. I advise not doing those. I participated in local scene ones as well as much larger ones, and I wrote for TV ones. The TV ones are great because it's a different paradigm, you know, paradigm shift. But with the local ones, comics that are just starting out, or even a few years in, or even one that I did a long time ago, they were well-established comics with some TV credits, but it was just for fun. It has the potential to go horribly wrong. Here's why. Comics are extremely sensitive. That's one of the great things about comics because we pick up on things other people don't see, and then we talk about it and make jokes in our acts and all of that stuff. But man, when you have another comic, especially one you don't like or don't respect, making fun of you, that could really take the wind out of your sails. And even worse, somebody that you like and you think, wow, I didn't realize they thought this about me. And it's supposed to all be lighthearted and fun, but you'll get one or two people that don't really understand that certain things are off limits. Yeah, it's a roast and you're supposed to be able to say whatever you want, but they'll hit you real hard with something that's not even a joke. I remember joking around with a buddy of mine who's another comic, and I forget what my joke was, but he said back to me, "Yeah, well, at least I'm not an alcoholic." Ha ha. Like, that's not a joke. I'm an alcoholic. And I was trying to get sober at the time. And I have very thick skin, but even I'm sensitive to stuff. Having a roast of comics just for the fun of it, it could really just set up a rift and develop all kinds of anxiety and animosity towards each other. I did a local roast here maybe 7 years ago. And this one comic that I really liked thought that I did a joke that I would consider really inappropriate. It's not something I would intentionally do. And so I didn't think there was any problem. We talked after the roast, like just hanging out and stuff. Booked me for shows. Stop, Willie. I'm talking about something important. This is one of his toys, his little moo cow baby toy. Go get your baby toy. And then, like 2 years later, that comic randomly started something with me on Facebook. And I'm like, where's this coming from? It wasn't until 5 years later that I heard from our mutual friend, "Oh, it's because you said this at the roast." And I was like, oh my God, I never would say that. And then I started thinking about the context. I said, all right, I would say something like this because of this reason and this reason and this reason. And so from my perspective, it was a misunderstanding. From their perspective, they thought I said something horrible about them. And I never got the chance to clear it up with them. And at this point, I feel like if this is probably too much information for you, but if somebody doesn't give me the opportunity to explain myself and apologize if I'm wrong, then it's not worth revisiting. So that ended. That's okay. I'll live with it. But yeah, just be careful. Know going into it that there might be some very hurt feelings. I just don't think it's worth it. And trust me, I'm very good at roasts. It's what I did professionally. When I worked on the Best Damn Sports Show, period, we had a segment at the end of the show, 5 days a week, called Things You Wouldn't Say To, and then we'd pick an athlete like Patrick Ewing, things you wouldn't say to Patrick Ewing. And they were all roast jokes. They would pull them out of a hat and read them. When I worked on the dating shows on MTV, like Next, the show where there would be a tour bus with Next written on it. Say a girl is going on a date with a guy. If she doesn't like him, she says next. And then another guy comes out tour bus. There were 5 daters plus the person who was going, picking the people. We called that person the picker. Every time there was a nexting, I would write 6 jokes on the spot for the person who got nexted and for the person who did the nexting. So if they went through all 5 people, that's 30 jokes. Is that the right math? Yeah, 6 times 5. Oh, it's 60 jokes because I would do it on both sides. So I got real good at it real quick. I wrote for several roasts. So I love doing it. It's a great skill to have. But why screw up your comedy scene? For what? One night of semi-fun? If you are going to do it, here's the one thing I would recommend. Go relatively light on each other. Don't do anything super personal or super harsh. Don't go for obvious things. If somebody's overweight, maybe skip that. There's plenty of jokes you can make. I don't know. Do whatever you want. Just know that if you really get the better of a fellow comic and you're not particularly close with them and it's very obvious, buy them a drink after the show. Make sure that there's no hard feelings. Be kind to each other. It's not worth losing friendships over jokes. That's it. I hope you find my channel again. I make a new video every day. I release them at 11 in the morning Eastern time, and I'm doing 100 videos in 100 days. That's it. Bye. Oh, and I bought this hat tonight because it's ridiculous. Because I want to stand out, This is part of my act now. Do you like my voice like this?